based in, I think, New Zealand, and that's their perspective. And what we need instructors, teachers, that is space retrieval, and always think about come back and recycle.
About so many aspects when you are designing a course. Yeah, like environment analysis, needs analysis, and there are some principles that you have to follow or you have to keep in mind when you're designing a course. Yeah, what I manage the research on. So because that's my expertise, so when I am offering the courses, they will not ask me what course I would like to teach. They will just ask you, hey, can you teach the vocabulary course, or can you teach a reading course? So what is told is based on what your expertise is. Okay, so I think like one would do.
So you believe in correction. So you think that the parents would correct their kids if they say something like, yesterday I go to school.
I think instead of correcting, the child.
Never write like this? No. But then if I ask you, is it a perceptive form of English? Is it good English? Okay, let me give you
their stories, their digital stories, and their creativity in their story as well. Okay, and we apply the pedagogy of multi-literacies. So you see, in the level E, we will provide students with some activities to help them to brainstorm some ideas and to recall the vocabulary that they already learned. And for the C, we will give them the teaching activities. We will focus on the textbooks, and also we also need to teach them the framework that they will use in the third stage. And next, we also need to help them with the final project, because this is the thing that we want to focus on. For example, we will show them some samples. Note that using correct collocation is a must when they are writing and when they are speaking. And the question is, how can we introduce and teach collocations with topics these days? Because as you know that these days there are a lot of so-called teachers, English teachers online, and we don't know exactly if the things that they are talking or teaching us are really correct.
And probably you can find some legal download website outside of YouTube. And then you can transcribe it into words, and then you have the text file. You can just put the text file into ChatGPT and ask the ChatGPT to transcribe it into the Markdown format. And the Markdown format means that it can translate to the HTML format, and any of those graph, figures, text could be read, and then further transcribed into mind map. And then you will have a very long code of Markdown, but you just only need to copy it, and then you can pass it into a mind map tool.
In the library, okay, how much you have? If you learn only American institutions, how many real life?
And we will teach them to use vocabulary for storytelling. We will use ChatGPT for definition, applications, and categories, like comparison or just juxtaposition. And second is the textbook, including themes and vocabulary and real-life examples. That this real-life example may be far from students' experience, so we will distinguish them. And the third one is reflection papers about their feelings.
So here, our target learners is 10th graders in Taiwan, and students could apply the vocabulary they learned in the lesson and then give a short presentation. Okay, and of course with the help of different AI tools, for example below, napkin. And these are our materials. We have a textbook, we have Magic Sword AI, which is an AI tool that helps them to come up with the text. Of course, they're going to use their cell phones and napkin, which is their presentation tool, and also their computer. All right, so let's move on to
begin with the foundational levels like remembering, understanding to the higher order thinking skills. And this helps them not only can understand the contents but also think critical. And also we will base on the international model problem ground-based learning, which will adapt the process to design the 16 weeks courses to ensure the curriculum can effectively enhance students' writing and critical thinking. And the materials I will use in the curriculums. First, I will let students to choose their topic from the playful written cards, and the topic will focus on the society and culture. Also, we will provide a city-oriented brainstorming worksheets for them to brainstorm with their group members, and assign the writing assignments for them to practice their writing skills and organize their thoughts. And in the end of the semester, we will have the final self-reflections to get some feedback from the project.
Instructional model. The next one is about how to perceive or evaluate the whole curriculum. And the right one is the research focus. And let me introduce about this model. The first one, capital, which is inspired by work in 1986. In short, it's about resource or access. Like first one, social capital, is about social relations and interactions. And then second one
is this concept, and it's demonstrated and discuss how big C and small C can work in our curriculum design. So as you can see on your left-hand side, big and small C culture interact through processes such as socialization, which means individuals learn cultural rules and rules from institution and so rules.
And this is the first key point. And the second one is the Western value and Asian value are quite different. So the cities using the Western values emphasize individual and often encounter challenges, but individuals, but in the Asia.
Yeah.
So you want to look at their competence.
Their confidence and their confidence, their performance. Yeah.
Performance. So then if performance is what you are also want to take a look at, then that should be one of your research questions.
The chatbot responses and way of speaking were clear and easy to understand, because the chatbot sometimes speak a bit fast and the pronunciation is not so clear for young learners. So that's why this indicated a lot meaning. And as you can see, the other questions and the meaning all shows
need to seek for other ideology and possibility, and I want to see whether they join the social interaction will redefine their already established identity. And the third one is they have high capital, high ideology, but low identity. They might have used resources and have their own